good, everyone? Welcome to episode 1 of the OnLookers Podcast. My name's Evans, and I'm here with my co-host, Luis Rio. Say what's up.
Hey, what's happening, guys? This is your boy, Luis, and you're hosting with me, just me, not Evans. Evans and Gula just so happens to exist here. He happens to be my co-partner. We do not live together, but we happen to share the same blood, even though we're not related at all. Brothers from another mother that aren't together by that same vein, or even fathers. So technically speaking, everything I just said was a lie.
Yeah,
right?
There's no point in anything you just said. Waste of breath.
That was actually exhausting going through all that.
This is like episode 1, and we already take a hiatus.
Yeah, we're taking a quick break. We just we didn't see eye to eye together.
You need your inhaler.
Actually, I found out recently that I might have sports related asthma or something like that.
Sports related asthma.
Max was telling me, just a friend from that we know, was telling me about my overactivity if I'm doing too much, and like I get a harshness in my breath.
You do too much, like sit down and sit down in your chair.
Yeah, actually, that's tough for me, believe it or not.
I'm not surprised. I know your routine.
Me just getting up and like walking to the bathroom is exhausting as it is.
I've seen.
And God forbid me getting up again.
Yeah.
No, but what I was getting at was after finding out that like I had a really harshness of breath afterwards, a strong physical activity, I was just shoveling all of our driveways and stuff like that. That mucus that builds up shouldn't technically be there as often as it does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Does this happen to you or no? Like,
where I get like mucus in my throat.
Yeah. After like you've doing, do you have asthma or no?
I had asthma growing up. Like I had that little machine, where like they put like the mask on your mouth.
Yeah. So they had
when I was sick. When I would get like really sick, I would need it. But not like regular. Like I played soccer and stuff like that, and I'd be fine. But when I was like super sick and all my like sinuses were closed, I would use that. And my mask had like a fish design on it, and I thought it was dope. And it was loud as hell. I remember.
See, now I have a sneaky feeling that I'm just self-diagnosing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do think that now.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to do now. If you like look up on WebMD, if you're feeling like some type of way, you could leave like 5 minutes thinking you have cancer.
Just type in WebMD. I just coughed a little bit. All right, you're gonna die in 3 days. You have lung, pancreatic cancer. You have both of them at the same time.
Yeah, and it's usually when you're like on the toilet, like just like checking to see yourself as like you're typing.
And then you find out, oh, I'm gonna die tomorrow, I guess.
There's like 40 different things you could possibly have.
Oh, all right. So the reason I got into the story, I just used one of his inhalers, and it just helped like that, dude. Like literally on the flip of a dime, I just felt like $1 million. I was like, all right, time to run the hell back out there. I can continue doing this. But nah. You wanted to bring up something earlier before we.
No, I was asking about your like setup here. I was just gonna ask, like, cause like usually you make dumb investments like with your money, like really dumb investments. Like usually.
Oh, like this one specifically, actually.
No, this one, this setup here is like a smart investment because this is like what you want to get into. Like you want to be, like, tell the audience what you actually like want to do.
Believe it or not, this is the profession I want to try to go for.
Yeah.
Ha.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I really want to pursue, as in like trying to get like high monetary value. I just want to do it just because I can do it. And if I have the ability, I want to make sure that I can just do it.
Yeah, all this stuff. I was just saying, like, all the stuff that you have here is like a smart investment compared to like buying the newest like system for like $700.
Oh,
like, that's
you mean like the TV in like our living room right now?
Yeah, I'm like, that's such a dumb investment. But if it like goes towards like this setup, like if you could end up having video and be able to show yourself here, then I guess it's smart.
I mean, the main thing that I like is quality. This is a little behind the scenes thing. My setup has like a few mic stands. One's a little ghetto-ly setup right now for myself. Evans has a little bit more of a real estate value to like extend his.
Yeah.
But we're in a really tight corridor.
Yeah, I was gonna
like,
say
my own room, and could barely fit like 5 feet across from each other. So.
Yeah, they made your room like way too long
This is my personal bedroom, so that's how elite we are in this setup.
It's basically like half of a studio apartment in here.
And I just condensed it with so much technology that I'm surprised I was able to fit everything that I got in here.
Yeah. Cause
my computer's like to the left of me. My audio deck is in front of me. My TV is actually to the right of me.
Because when you're living on campus, you had more stuff than me and my roommate had.
Oh, yeah.
Together. So when you're moving off campus, I was like, is bro gonna have to like get himself an apartment to fit everything in?
Well, now I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought you were gonna have to get like an entire apartment, like by yourself.
Just for myself.
Yes, because you had mad stuff.
You see, the funny thing is, I've always been like known of my hoarding habits. So what I would do is try my best to organize it in a way that makes sense to me and only me. So there'd be times where like there'd be huge messes and everything, but like I would know exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Until I don't.
That's usually how it is. Like you'll have a huge mess, and to everyone else, like everything's scattered, and we don't know how you're finding anything, but somehow you know where everything is.
Yeah, right now it's as clean as it could ever be.
Yeah, I actually didn't like step on something and break my ankle coming in.
You know, that's part of the reason I keep it that messy. You know, I don't want nobody in here. But right. You know, sacrifices. No, but this is just us starting out, trying to figure out things, you know.
Figure out like ideas that we could do to switch it up, so we're not just talking every episode.
No, I prefer just talking blatantly. I think that's the most entertaining thing. Just listening.
We could talk, but like add things. Like we could do like eat spicy food, like while we have a conversation.
Oh, have some extra entertainment value to the discussion.
Yeah, or we could switch it up, or we could like play a game while we're talking, like how you mentioned before, and just have different ideas, things to bring up.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna try to run as many things until one of them catches on.
Yeah.
But for now, this is just as
just to start off,
I can go on.
Yeah, just start off like just talking, like not really.
On the baseline of what I was saying previously, if I can do it, I will do it, and I should be getting on that mindset. It's like kind of been my New Year's resolution this year
to actually pursue your career. Because I've been complaining to Lewis for like a year and a half. Like, yo, why don't you actually like build a portfolio or like do something that will actually like benefit your career and like go down that path? And he's like, I don't know, man. You know, I think about it, but like I'm lazy. You know, I was gonna do it, but then I don't know. I got tired.
Like, it's basically been a year and a half in the works to just get to this point.
Yeah, I've like sat this dude down for like an hour and like explained to him like how to plan his life out, going like the path that he wants to, just to give him an idea. And then he's like, yeah, I'll think about it. I'm like, okay, all right. You're just like Corey.
Oh man, we gotta get him here one day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, eventually we could have like guests like our friends who could just come and talk, and you could definitely have Corey
just to chill. Yeah, that'd be great. But one thing I do want to talk about, we were just talking about like that new Godzilla movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
And like how I brought up how Godzilla had to be the size of King Kong eventually.
Yeah, because he's way larger than how I've seen him.
He has to be like the size of like how many stories? Godzilla's like.
I know in the trailer they have like the little girl, which is like the only person that King Kong like actually cares about, and he was like pointing his thumb out to her, and she's like the size of his thumb.
Smaller. I think it was just like his like index finger.
Yeah, she's like she could fit on his fingernail, and I'm like, that's insanely large.
She could probably fit on like a quarter of his fingernail. That's how much real estate that guy got on just that one part of his body.
Yeah, imagine like if I already mentioned this before, but imagine if Godzilla like actually existed in our world, and he was just like part of like a tribe in Africa.
What?
He's just part of like a random tribe in Africa. Like people, like you know how there are a bunch of like indigenous tribes that people don't bother.
Yeah.
And like isolated islands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what if Godzilla's just like on one of them, just chilling?
Oh, he's just there and like.
Yeah, like he's like part of the tribe. Like they respect him. Like they took him in. Like there's like a 4-foot old lady who's like his mom.
That's literally the movie. Oh. Almost the movie Kong Skull Island.
It is.
He hasn't seen the movie, so
no. Really? He has like a grandma who like whips him whenever he like misbehaves.
No, it's without the grandma part. There's a bunch of people on the island, and they're all like keeping him like on there to like worship him as like a deity or something, or like the creatures that are of that size.
Yeah.
Because Kong is the baby version of what at that time of the movie, I guess.
So he's Kong. He's not King Kong yet.
Yeah, he's just little Kong, tiny Kong, and he's huge still. He's just as almost surpassing certain mountains.
Yeah,
just slightly covered underneath them. But God, they need to have an excuse so that way King Kong could be as large as Godzilla. So that's what they did. They made him little baby Kong in
I thought
Kong Skull Island.
I thought it was that like he got hit with like radioactive nonsense.
I don't think Kong Skull Island even thoroughly explained how he's as big as he is. I think it's mainly just that island was everyone's huge and like the most paranormal stuff happens. Or just strange stuff in general.
It was just like a random island, like an isolated island.
It has like dinosaurs too, I think. Yeah, you missed out.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never the biggest fan of King Kong. I don't know. I feel like he's just always been there, but my mom was a huge King Kong fan. Like when she was growing up and she was going to college in Italy, she would, when she was with my dad, and even before she was with my dad, she would go out with her friends like after class and stuff like that and go to the movies, and they would watch like the original King Kong movie. Well, she's always been a huge fan.
The 1950s version, or
yeah,
maybe earlier.
I don't know how far it goes back, but she would watch like the old ones, and she watched like the one where like he goes on top of a tower with like a lady in his hand.
Oh, that's
haven't
they did a revamp version?
Yeah, I was gonna say, haven't they remade that?
Yeah, it was in 2008, I believe, with Peter Jackson, the guy that made the Lord of the Rings movies.
Okay.
You haven't seen the Lord of the Rings movies?
No,
yes.
No. There are a lot of popular, like super popular franchises that I just could never get into, and I don't really know much about.
I should have half a mind to like sit you down to watch some of these, and we'll just talk about it on one of these sets.
Yeah, like that and Harry Potter. I haven't seen a single Harry Potter movie or read a book. I don't know what it's about. All I know is that they're wizards and like they go to like Hogwarts, and there's like the dude who will not be named with like no nose or whatever.
There are things that are technically right, and a lot of things that is missing.
About what I just said?
Yeah. I mean,
right?
you got like every little bullet point right.
Yeah.
And then you're just missing all the other spark notes that go with them.
Yeah, because you can't get that from the trailer. Are there dragons?
Yes. Yeah, almost every fantasy element you can get is basically within the Harry Potter universe. Unicorns exist.
Yeah.
Some weird dead horses things.
Even before we had that Star Wars marathon last semester or the semester before?
I think it was a full year ago, actually.
Yeah, so basically like a year ago, like
this is during the start of the name that I shan't say, but the no thing.
but basically a year ago, me, Lewis, and a bunch of our friends.
No, not a bunch. We were doing it safely and socially distanced as responsible adults.
Yeah, we were like, oh yeah, right, okay,
quote unquote.
Yeah, basically, yeah, we were all doing it safely or whatever, and we were having a Star Wars marathon, and we were just sitting through it, and I'm like looking, I'm like watching it, and like I'm trying my hardest to retain what's happening, but I couldn't.
Now you spaced out. I think I messed up because I started off on the chronology.
Yeah, I was like, bro, this movie has
because
gone
that
on,
made sense to me.
Yeah, this movie has gone on for
if
7
anything,
hours.
I started off with like the best ones. I went from A New Hope to Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Gosh, what's the sixth one? I feel like an idiot. Return of the Jedi. Then I went to Phantom Menace, Clone Wars, Revenge of the Sith, and you didn't see anything after that, unfortunately. So.
I don't know. There's like a lot of political talk, bro, and I didn't get anything from it.
What's crazy?
What were they arguing about?
That was in the Phantom Menace, and you didn't even pay attention to that beforehand. You were complaining about A New Hope. Yeah. There was no political talk basically in that one. It was mainly just a dumb boy that was a former farmer, and now he's talking about his power converters or something.
Is that Anakin?
No, that was Luke.
Oh.
Yep.
It was Anakin.
Anakin's another dumb boy that's like, are you an angel?
Bro, the only reason why I actually even know anything, because I didn't learn anything from the marathon, because I fell asleep like about halfway through the third movie.
I think that's probably when you woke up again. Too, like,
yeah, I woke up like 6 times, and it felt like I was watching the same movie. But
I think that's mainly a problem with your attention span.
Bro, no, it's not a problem with my attention span, because there are definitely plenty of things that I can watch and be fully focused on. I don't know.
Maybe you're just not invested in the universe itself.
See, I don't even think that's the case, because I think the universe itself is dope. I think like the characters are dope and stuff like that, and like the concept is dope. Because the only reason why I even know anything about Star Wars is not from watching the movie, because I learned nothing through the marathon, but because I grew up playing the Lego Star Wars game on GameCube, like when I was little. So that's how I learned about like all the stuff like that.
Yeah, that was actually my first iteration to like the Star Wars universe myself. I didn't watch all the Star Wars movies until it came out like on, what was it, Cinemax, like on the streaming service so many years ago, probably when I was 12 or so. So this is maybe 13 years ago for me. Maybe it's about to be 14 this time around. I decided to just binge watch all of them, and I started from A Phantom Menace to Return of the Jedi. And it was like the biggest experience of my whole life at the time. Because I'm like, I played these Lego games, but now I'm seeing them play out properly.
And it's insanely worse.
How dare you?
It's just
What, did you enjoy the silence of the Lego games, how they didn't say anything?
Bro, it was awesome, bro. That was the dopest thing ever, bro. You know what's the funniest thing?
What?
I've been playing that. Me and my friends would play it every single weekend for like 3 years growing up when we were like 7, 8, 9 years old, and we never completed the game. You know why? Because we were having too much fun killing each other.
No.
You could never get through the story.
Actually, not gonna lie, I was getting pissed at my little sister. We were playing that all the time together.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time she'd join me, I'd get so pissed at us not being able to complete anything because we had to fight each other.
Yeah, bro. And the thing was, because like there's always like the feature where you could create your own character, and I would always just to be like different. I would always pick the guy with a gun instead of like having a lightsaber. So whenever I'd fight my friends who had a lightsaber, they also would cheat and they would like use the Force on me, and I have to like shoot, and they would just automatically like have like the protection shit with like
it just be like the stick and then slightly tilt a little bit.
Exactly. They don't even have to do anything, and then they like just use the Force on me and like push me against the wall, and then I die and they steal my money. It was basically like gang war. It was fun times. Very fun times.
Yeah, Lego games have gotten so ridiculous lately. Have you seen like the latest ones yet or no?
Yeah, I mean there's like a new one
every other year.
Every month.
Yeah, the same company that started off with them. That I think Lego Star Wars was the first.
That was definitely the first game.
I'm not positive, but I'm assuming that was like the first one, and then it branched off, and then they jumped to like the Lego Indiana Jones stuff, and then they jumped into.
That was fun.
Yeah, I tore through both of them actually. They were both. They were my first 360 games that I like 100%ed. I don't know why I'm so proud of that. Mm-hmm. It was like a really shining moment for me. I was like, I could finally get that last explosion that gets rid of 5 people at once.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I think I was just a dumb kid growing up, because I can't recall me ever finishing a game. Ever.
Never?
Never. Whether it was like, because the first like game console or anything I ever had was the Game Boy Advance, and I got Narnia, the video game, with that.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I never beat that game. Just because, like, I don't even think it was me being dumb. It was just me just enjoying, like, the journey, because, like, that's what the game is about. It's just about, like, the journey.
And
like,
never finishing it?
Yeah, bro. Like, once you finish it, you're done. But if you, like, prolong that by just,
He wants to have the air of mystery.
Yeah, you gotta solve everything. It's just, like, there's always something to go back to with the game. Because with me, once I beat a game, I can't, like, replay the story mode. Like, once I beat it, I'm not going to want to touch it anymore. So I'm just going to make this last as long as I can. That's why it's been, like, 14 years, and I still haven't beaten Star Wars.
Wait.
Maybe at some point.
Still?
Yeah, man. Maybe.
If you want, we can actually play that. I have it on my Xbox right here.
Yeah, one of these days. One of these days.
One of these years.
Yeah, one of these years. Maybe when, like, I'm, like, 40.
Like, we're in our, like, late 40s, just...
Yeah.
chilling on like some weird retire. No. If we're in our 40s,
retirement home, you probably shit. If you don't,
I'm collapsing already.
Yeah, if you don't take care of yourself, man, you're gonna be like in a wheelchair in like your 30s.
Knowing the way I take care of myself, that seems like an inevitable thing, but that's for a lesser discussion.
No, that's just you know how to not do that, how to not be in a wheelchair in a retirement home in your 40s. Stop drinking Mountain Dew.
It's not my fault. It's the gamer's energy drink, you know.
Disgusting. It's a disgusting drink.
Sometimes you just need it in your veins to continue on your.
You could drink anything else.
But you still haven't had the watermelon Mountain Dew yet, right?
Yeah, I just want to try it, but I guarantee you I won't get it any other times after that.
Honestly, God, if I get it, will you drink it? Because it's not that bad. It's weird to me.
I want to try it. I definitely want to try it. But the only Mountain Dew that like anyone will get a pass for from me is Baja Blast.
Baja Blast? Oh yeah, that's definitively good.
That's just amazing.
Every summer they have that. I can't wait to buy like a whole bunch.
There was
of them.
Definitely a summer where I would literally play basketball every day. And first of all, saying play basketball at like this point in time with COVID is just something that's so far beyond me now. I haven't been able to play basketball in so long, and it's deteriorating my body.
You can't do anything indoors, or it's just like the way we have to schedule it now, right?
Yeah, basically, I don't have time. Whenever it is open, I'm either like at work or I'm busy with school and classes and stuff like that. So I never really have time to play basketball. No, I miss it so much, though. I miss playing basketball. I miss a lot of things.
Good thing most of my hobbies are requiring me sitting in a chair. So
most of your hobbies require you like rolling off your bed into your chair.
No, that's not a hobby. That's just sport right there.
That's your sport. Yeah.
That's my physical activity of the day.
Chair hopping, seat hopping, or something like that.
Jumping from my bed to my chair. That's the tough one.
You know what you are? You're that. You're that old man in that one episode of Flapjack where it was like the laziest man competition, and his face and body is just like melting. He's having a competition with like Knuckles about who's like the laziest.
Oh yes! Oh my god, that dates me.
And like they just try to beat each other on how lazy they could be, and then he like somehow pulls up to the whale's mouth, and then he like kidnaps Flapjack by not moving. That's who you are in 20 years.
Just be so lazy I could just get things done without doing anything.
Exactly.
That's the level of skill I want to get at.
Yeah.
Damn, Flapjack's been a while though. What they only ran how many seasons? Just 1 or 2?
They had like 3, I think.
Okay.
The cool thing about Flapjack is that came out when I was like 8, 9. And that was around the time where I was just starting like to really understand what animation was, and like my interest really started getting into it, because I remember like watching, like waking up at like maybe I was like 8. Yeah, I was like 8 or 9 at the time, waking up and then hearing about like Har Thursdays, and they'll have like the lineup where like it would be like new Chowder, new Flapjack, new like Mad TV, or like Mad the Show or whatever else.
Oh, it was Mad TV,
yeah. I mean, streaming is awesome because you could just have everything like at your like fingertips now. Like the entire season just drops by. I miss it when it was just like the new episode and you have to wait a week for like the next episode.
That'd be like the one thing you look forward to within that week.
Yeah, and I feel like just having it all presented to you at once makes it that much easier for like the show to like lose hype and like die out. Because you could like binge it in like one day and then not really care about it anymore. Where if like it's spread out, like if it's like a 12 episode season for 12 weeks, you're gonna be caring about that show.
And that's kind of why the main reason that they do their streaming services. What was that? The streaming services that they do with their weekly episodes, like WandaVision and stuff like that. They want to make sure that they're keeping audience retention and seeing like, are you going to turn into the next one? But what happened?
No, it was just a little low. Like every time you turn to me, it's pretty low.
Yeah, it's tough. I should have been able to move this mic a little bit. Gosh. Again, this is still our first thing, and I'm probably going to do a lot of post stuff. So
yeah,
it's going to be a little bit more work for me right now, but So be it. What was I talking about before?
We were talking about streaming. And you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about WandaVision.
The streaming services that are doing like the weekly things. Have you've seen The Boys season 2 or no?
I have not finished season 1 of The Boys. I know it's so good. You and Dan would like
We're
hype it up.
Constantly talking about
hype it up all the time. All the time. Like you guys will start sweating at like the mention of The Boys. But in due time.
It's a
I don't
really
have
good show.
I don't have Prime Video though.
I'll hop on mine.
Sure. Bro, see that's the thing. Everything it's another thing, man. Like over here, like you sound like the old men complaining about like the good old times, and I'm like 21.
And right now we're talking about how good, like,
bro. But like seriously though, like, not like I like where things are at now, but everything is so spread out. Like everything is so spread out.
Like how we were just talking about The Boys.
Yes, like if
like Disney has WandaVision and
yes, like if you like you could see a show and you'll be like, oh, that looks so dope, and at the end of it, it'll say like exclusively on like Apple TV, and I'm like, I don't have Apple TV. I'm not gonna pay like another $16 a month or like however much a month just to watch this one show on this like streaming service.
I think the main thing is that all these streaming services are trying to become the new cable, and since they're adapting within that same format, they want people to be watching their selective service first and not being paying attention to like all these other ones. There's like another new streaming service every other week now.
Exactly. Like, bro, like if you, for all like my close friends that like know me, know how much of a fan I am of The Office. Like that's hands down one of the best shows ever, in my opinion, personally. And I would watch it all the time on like Netflix, and I like watch through the entire show at least like a good 4, 5, 6 times. And then I found out that they were like taking it off and moving it to Peacock.
Oh.
And I had never heard of Peacock before in my life. I'm like, what?
The only reason,
Peacock?
Yeah, it's what was it? MSNBC's streaming service or something.
Bro, come on now. There's way too many. That's depressing.
The reason that I hate Peacock is, you know how I have HBO, right?
Yeah.
They were originally having all the Harry Potter movies on it. And this is back maybe September, October, or something like that, within that area. And shortly after, maybe within the October month itself, Peacock had full exclusive streaming rights. So they stripped that off the HBO Max and just went straight to Peacock.
That sucks so much, man.
And I was so mad because me and Dan were trying to do a binge watch session to like just watch it together on some real, you know, homies watching Harry Potter type stuff.
Bromance.
I mean, you gotta bro out watching Harry Potter. That's how you gotta do it.
I remember growing up being in I was in middle school. It was 5th grade, and I went to a middle school called Troy Prep, and it was like a different school. It was an uncommon school, and it was like uncommon in every sense of the word compared to other schools. Like we had uniform, we had like this thing called like scholar dollars, which is basically at the beginning of every week you get $50. You get 50 scholar dollars. Like you get a paycheck that's 50 scholar dollars, and you have ways to like good behavior or like doing well in school or like asking good questions, or, like being like
so the more
responsive in class, like you would get scholar dollars. Like like the teachers would hand you out like physical like paper scholar dollars, and weird. At the end of every week you would like collect them and then give them to the teacher, and they would count that and add that to your paycheck.
What?
Yeah. So you could have 50 scholar dollars or more, but you also had deductions.
Yo, what if someone was played the system though? You don't think there was this one smart kid that decided to print out a few, just cheat the system?
Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know if anyone did that. That would be smart.
Just have like a bunch of counterfeit scholar dollars. Be like, hey, yo, teach. I'm being real good, you know?
Bro, I don't know if any of us were smart enough for that, bro.
I mean, how old were y'all? That was like when you're...
I was middle school, so like from 10 to 14?
Okay.
From 9 to 14.
No, y'all thought of that?
I don't know. I didn't think of that. I definitely didn't. I didn't even need to, because I was a...
You were just a good boy?
Yeah, bro, I was a good kid. See, the thing is...
See, I'm thinking of the awful kids in myself.
Yeah, it's not even... Like, I remember growing up and being in school, and then kids were like kids would like call me like they would say like I was a good kid or like I was like a goody two shoes or whatever. But like the thing is,
as you are,
the thing is, it's not even that. It wasn't even that difficult. Like all you honestly had to do was just like shut up and do your work. I wasn't like necessarily like the. Or at least
you were a normal kid, not one of those impatient things.
My first 2 years at Troy Prep, I definitely was like the goody two shoes kid who's like squeaky clean and like super helpful and like responsive. Like
I was mama.
Yeah, I was like I definitely was like I'm pretty sure my principal like subconsciously chose me to be like the poster boy for our school because he would like set up all these programs and he'd be like, "Yo, Evans, you're joining this, right?" I'm like, no, I kind of just wanted to go home and play games. He's like, no, you're joining this program. You're gonna be like a student leader and stuff like that. Okay. I'm like, God, Jesus. Yeah, I'd basically just be like, I don't want to, but fine, I guess. You're older than me and I have no choice, and you're gonna be on my case if I don't do it anyway. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 5th and 6th grade, I was definitely a good kid. I'm the first person. Any Troy Prep listeners who are watching this, y'all know, and y'all need to respect the fact that I'm the first kid to ever get $1,000 scholar dollars ever. Like my name is on like a little plaque somewhere in their school.
So the whole school has it like written down that you were the only one that decided to be that good.
Yeah, they better. I was the first one.
Just the first?
Yeah. I mean, kids after me eventually reached scholar dollars, but your boy was always the first one.
I'm pretty sure it became a little bit smarter about counterfeiting the system, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how you could get away with it though. Like, is it verified by like the teachers or something? Do they like have little marks and stuff like that?
No, I'm pretty sure the teachers sign it.
Oh,
so I don't. Yeah, okay, no, okay, yeah, you couldn't do that because it'd be weird if you like showed up with like 50 that like are from this one teacher, and then like you're just waiting for like the person to hand it to, and you're handing it to the teacher that gave you the scholar dollar, and she's like, I did not give you 50.
I don't remember giving you 50.
It's like, I did not give you 50.
Miss, you gotta understand, you weren't really counting that much.
Exactly. Like, do you teach math? No, you teach writing. So unless the math teacher's here, you better accept these 50 scholar dollars.
I'm pretty sure there had to be at least one person that tried it.
There definitely had to be one person that tried it.
Maybe more than one, actually.
Right. Okay. But basically, so yeah, you basically get this paycheck. Yeah. And you get these scholar dollars every week, and that builds up until you have a certain amount. And every few like months, we'd have this event at our school called the Scholar Dollar Auction. So our school would like have us all sit down in like the cafeteria, and they would present all these like different types of awards that we could win and like these trips we could go on. And they're actually like cool trips. It's not like a go apple picking or like some nonsense.
I don't know what's wrong with going apple picking.
Okay, there's nothing going wrong with apple picking, but it's like cool stuff that like, you know, like a 11-year-old
actual kids like to do.
Yeah, kids would do. Like you could go to the movies, you could go mini golfing. There are plenty of other ones, but there are smaller ones too for like the kids who can't really afford like the more expensive gifts. Like you could get like a slice of pizza or like ice cream that like other people would get. But you know your boy had to flex a little bit in middle school. He had to flex for like the top gifts. But there was one gift, or there was one prize where you could bid on going to this like really, really good like dinosaur barbecue place nearby like the area that it was in. And this one dude, I'm not gonna say his name just to not say his name, but this one dude won it, and he ended up picking me. Like you could pick a friend to go on trips with you. Yeah. So like you pay for it, and then it'll be like you plus a friend or like two friends can go on this trip with this teacher, etc. So he picked me, and I remember going there, and like he was like the type of kid where like you could tell like he came from like a certain type of background. Like he had like the more like a thuggish background, you know.
Oh, that
he grew up in like that type of scene. Mm-hmm. So long story short, I never would have thought of him to be like a huge Harry Potter fan, but he was a huge Harry Potter fan.
So we're circling back to Harry Potter again.
Yeah, bro. It wasn't just a random thought. Like I was trying to connect it to what we were talking about before. But yeah, I'm just sitting there, and he's talking to our teacher about Harry Potter, and he's going off about Harry Potter.
He's like, yo, I really love Voldemort, not really giving.
Yeah, he was like, yo, Harry Potter gangster, bro. Like, it's like, yo, he be killing. Like,
I thought the other way around. To be honest, I thought he like looked up to Voldemort.
Nah, bro. Yeah, and I was just like,
that's a twist.
Yeah, it was just like it's just funny moments like those in life where like you just gotta learn to like not judge anyone because you don't know what anyone's into.
Yo, straight up, that's the meanest. Don't judge a book by its cover type thing.
Yeah.
A guy that actually has he read the books? Then I'm assuming.
I'm assuming so.
Imagine. Oh my.
I think he did read the books. Yeah. Yeah, he did read the books because I remember at my school, at my middle school, we were required to walk around with a book. Like they kept tracks on us, bro. Like this was Troy Prep was different, and like for anyone who's listening that went to Troy Prep, like you understand, Troy Prep was different. We definitely have to keep books with us.
That sounds like a really cool school. Not gonna lie,
it was
it enforces
it like looking like at the moment it sucked. It sucked so much, but like in retrospect, and one of my friends on Facebook, I saw that they posted talking about Troy Prep after all this time. It was like, yo, Troy Prep actually taught me like all this like stuff about like how to hold myself accountable, how to like think about your future, and how to like have confidence in yourself. And I was like, that's dope. And I like this comment, and I was like, that's facts, bro. Like, but at the moment it sucked.
During at the moment, it
sucked because I remember for me, I would sit at the front of the class, and like all my friends would sit behind me. Mm-hmm. And the thing with Troy Prep, and the thing, you know how like when you're in situations where you can't laugh, but then something funny happens, and that makes
you just like go off a little bit. Just
like the fact that you can't laugh makes it even funnier. Like, you know those moments?
I know I'm a little too well, actually.
Bro,
but I'm an ass, so I don't hide it.
Yeah, those moments would happen all the time in high school. I mean, at Troy Prep in middle school. And I could hear it. I could hear what's going on. And at Troy Prep, it was like super strict at times. So, you know how I was talking about deductions, right?
Yeah.
So, if you laugh in class, you get a $5 deduction.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah, $5 deduction. And it can be hard. Like, sometimes it can be hard to get those $5 scholar dollars back. Because, you know, it depends on the teacher, and it also depends on, like, the mood that they're in. He's like, if you do well in this class, or, like, if you are super attentive in this class, they might give you a scholar dollar. And sometimes you'll be tight if, like, I was trying today in class, like, Miss C, like, why, like, give a brother a scholar dollar. Like, show me some love. Like, maybe actually care about this class. But, yeah, basically you'd get a deduction for laughing. So, plenty of times, like, my friends would get deductions for laughing out loud because they couldn't hold it in. And they're laughing, which makes me laugh. But I'm sitting in the front, and I'm, like, this close as you and me are to the teacher. Yeah. So if they look at me, that's going to be deduction. So I had to, like, just learn how to contain my laughter, which was so difficult at that time.
Well, you're a kid, so, like, it's
yeah,
really
bro, and it's just like at that stage in life, and you're going through, like, puberty, so, like, everything is funny. Yeah. Like, everything is hilarious. Like, we laugh at the dumbest thing. Like, ICUP, hilarious. Classic, all right? Hilarious in middle school.
If you don't laugh at that, you're just an awful kid and you weren't raised right.
Exactly. And I sat next to this one kid who was a character to say the least. And he would just, I don't know. He was a strange kid. And he was a kid that would kind of, like, shout out random stuff out of nowhere.
Was he like a weird one? Oh, like that strange, like.
Yeah, he was like
things just because he could say them.
Yeah, he would just say, like, random gibberish at times, and then it would just be hilarious, and then everyone would be laughing. And he sits right next to me, so I have to, like, turn my head and then, like, hold my hands over my eyes, and, like, I'm laughing, and, like, the teacher would, like, look over me, and they'd be like, "Are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm just coughing," so I have to kind of just mask it.
You sure that guy didn't have Tourette's or anything, or? Because if the other teachers
no, he didn't have Tourette's.
He just was weird like that. He just randomly say things. He'd do the South Park version of fake Tourette's.
Basically. Like, sometimes he would just get mad, like, for no reason. Like, he would just get mad. Like, there are times where...
Ooh, maybe he had, like, some weird, like, mental disorder or something like that.
Now, the funniest times were when someone would get a deduction, and then another kid would make fun of them, and then that kid would get a deduction. And then that kid would make fun of them, and they would get a deduction. It would just be like an ongoing thing.
Oh, just a constant cycle of deductions.
Yeah, and then that kid would get tight for getting a deduction, and then they start giving attitude to the teacher, and they get more deductions.
And then the other guy's laughing at that guy.
Yes, bro. It was a domino effect, bro. And it's so difficult because I had to sit in the front next to, like, one of the kids that was making other kids laugh. But Troy Prep was a trip, man. I'm glad I experienced that, but I'm good. I'm very good. Because they were thinking about having a high school because it was just a middle school at the time. Like my class was the first generation to ever experience that school. Like it was a new school.
Oh,
yeah.
So that's why they implemented all this like interesting things, so that way they could like
yeah
pass it on as like their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like my class was like basically like the experimental class for like this new thing that we're doing. But yeah, Troy Prep. There are so many stories like to talk about and tell with Troy Prep,
but we could have it as like an ongoing part of this series. Just another day at Troy Prep.
yeah. I remember there was like I don't know. I feel like Troy Prep thought that they were like taking care of toddlers instead of like little kids, because there's like someone to like watch over us at every step. Like there was like a bathroom like attendant. Like he would like sit like he had like his own desk like outside of the bathroom that he would sit at, and we'd have to sign our names to go into the bathroom and sign the time that we came in, and then we'd have to sign the time if we came out. So if we left the bathroom after like 10 minutes, like, you know, doing our business, we might get like a talk from like one of the teachers or like from someone who's like, yo, you were in the bathroom for like about like what, 10 minutes? What are you doing in there?
You definitely weren't taking a poop.
Like, what were you doing in there?
You having number 3?
Exactly. Like no one like as if a number 2 is not a thing. It's like no one takes a piss for 10 minutes. It's like, yeah, I wasn't taking a piss, bro. Like, what do you mean?
I was sitting on the toilet having a little reduction.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you could always make fun of Troy Prep, but I definitely respect so much more. As I get older, I respect Troy Prep so much more for everything that they tried to instill within us. Cause like all the kids that were coming, like looking back, like I have so much respect for what they did. Cause all of us like that were coming into the school, we weren't coming from like high class communities. Like we weren't coming from like it wasn't like in like one of the upper class communities. Like we were like lower class like kids, like mid class, lower class. Like some coming, like a lot of kids coming from broken homes and like coming from like families that didn't go to college and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so they were teaching us about like how to carry yourself, like how to be presentable in front of people. Yes, no, how to be polite, how to value education, even if you don't go to college, like how to value education, how to like use what you've learned and like bring it out into your community. And at the end of every year, we would have like this end of the year trip where we go to a college and like we would stay at that college overnight. We would talk to professors. We would like get the vibe of what it's like to be like at college. Like we would sleep in dorms and stuff like that. To anyone who like worked at Troy Prep, or I don't know how Troy Prep is now because it's been forever since I've been there, but every teacher that was there during my time, at that time I didn't get the full grasp of like everything that you're trying to do for us, but I'm 1,000% grateful. 1,000% grateful.
I wish I could say a similar experience. Mine was a little bit more reverse of lower class type of school. I went to a private school, but not like a really fancy one. It was more like a private school for a religion. It was like a Catholic school.
Well, the school wasn't lower class. It's just like the kids.
Oh, the
like
kids that were in the community.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like the school was able
to do its ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, all this stuff
trying to cater for.
Yeah, for like all of us, where like usually you would expect stuff like that from like a private school that has all this money to like take these kids on these.
Having a bathroom attendant keep tasks on your certain schedules when you pee or poop. Yeah,
exactly. Like having all this stuff that like I know for like a lot of us growing up, we would have never have been able to experience if it wasn't for Troy Prep. Mm-hmm. So that I know for a fact that it was like predetermined to pick an area like that because you know you're gonna have kids coming from all these different types of communities that like might not have like the best home, and to put them like in a structural place where like comfort and safety and to teach you like the good principles about life is really, really dope.
Structural values type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of things that they taught us about like life in general that we could take with us. Yeah. And we all know everyone. I know everyone that goes to Troy Prep with me can flex that we all know our times tables. Yeah, bro. That was like a big thing at school.
But like everyone knows everything past 12 by 12. So.
Exactly. No,
no,
everything
13 by 13.
Yeah, everything. Huh?
13 by 13?
169.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, right. Troy Prep. I got that big boy education.
My middle school stopped at 12 by 12. I had to, do that math on my own every once in a while. I was that nerdy kid that would, try to be as good as I can at everything I could be.
Yeah.
I was the worst. Anyway, we're probably going to have to cut it off here. It's been a really, hopefully, good start to this series that we're going to be keeping going.
Yeah.
I know, one of us has a little bit of a task that he has to deal with in the next few minutes, so.
Yeah, gotta go pick up the missus.
Other than that, this has been the OnLookers Podcast with your host, Luis Rios, and I guess the co-host to the right of me, right?
Yep. Sir.
Co-host, what's his name again? I forget.
Mr. Angulo Duville.
Mr. Angulo Duville Evans.
No, just Angulo.
Just Angulo. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't understand.
My Google Home just bugged out and it scared me. All right. Hopefully everyone has a good night, good morning, good evening, whatever. Peace.